Good morning. Today we welcome students, faculty, and other guests to this program. However, we are most honored to have the veterans who have joined us today. Each year that we host this event, we are fortunate to have a large number of veterans who take their time to join us, allowing us to actually see some of the thousands of people who have given a part of their lives in service to our country, in service to us. If you were not here, this might be a nice assembly, but it would not be as significant as it becomes with your presence. So thank you. And now, just for a few facts about this day. Veterans Day is actually always observed on November 11th, but this year, since that day falls on a Saturday, we've taken the liberty to have our program today. It came to be on the 11th for a very specific reason. World War I officially ended when the Treaty of Versailles was signed on June 28, 1919, in the Palace of Versailles, outside the town of Versailles, France. However, fighting had ceased 7 months earlier when a temporary cessation of hostilities between the Allied nations and Germany went into effect on the 11th hour of the 11th day of the 11th month. For that reason, November 11th has been set aside to remember all who have served in all branches of the military.
Each year, Cynthia Knight is kind enough to work with the pre-K students so that they can be a part of our program. At this time, we welcome them as they come, along with some very special fourth graders to perform for you. here with us now.
This year, we've chosen as our theme statement, we don't know them all, but we owe them all. When we started thinking about the thousands of men and women who through the years have sacrificed to serve our country, the thought was overwhelming. People we never knew, people who would never know, gave up so much for this country. They gave time away from their families, their jobs, and from the plans they might have had. Some even made the greatest sacrifice and gave their lives.
We recognize that it is just
just as important to remember the contributions of those who served hundreds of years ago as it is to remember those who are currently serving. It is as important to remember those who served in times of war and conflict as it is to remember those whose service may have not been in times when battles raged. We remember men as well as women. We remember those of every race and creed. We remember every branch of the military as well. All of them are part of this story, the story of how our nation came to be, of how it remained secure, and often of how it has ensured security and freedom to other parts of the world. In honor of all the men and women, past and present, who have served, we pause to light these candles.
I never knew my great-grandfather, William Judson, but today we honor him as well as all of those who served in World War I.
Today I have the opportunity and the honor of honoring my great uncle, Wilburn Daniel, who was 24 years old when he gave his life at the Battle of the Bulge during World War II. I light a candle for him and all those that served in World War II.
We honor my grandfather, Billy Jones Jr., who passed away 9 years ago, and all of those who served in Korea.
We honor my uncle, Jimmy Watley, and all others who served alongside him in Vietnam.
We honor my stepfather, Jerry Turner, who's with us today, and all those who served in the Gulf War.
And in this war on terror that is ongoing in many parts of the world, we honor the Americans who have served, like my father, Alfredo Soto, and my cousin, Frankie Soto, and those who are still serving.
We honor those who served in times of relative peace, like my husband, Kip Gandy, and my father-in-law, Larry.
And for all the other conflicts that have caused American soldiers to leave their home in order to serve, we light a final candle.
This year, we are pleased to welcome Mr. Chris Camacho as our guest speaker. He was born in Hawaii into a military family as his father retired from the Navy. He lived for a time on Guam, went to middle school in San Diego area, and attended high school in San Jose. Mr. Camacho served in the United States Air Force from 1992 to 2000. He was in security forces for 6 years and was an intelligence officer for 2 years. He was stationed in Wyoming, Germany, and California, and was deployed to Bosnia for Operation Joint Endeavor. He is an expert marksman with M16, M203, M9, and Law Rocket anti-tank weapons. He married his junior high sweetheart in 1992, and they just celebrated 25 years of marriage. He has 2 daughters, ages 19 and 23, and 2 grandkids, a 5-month-old granddaughter who just had open heart surgery, and a 4-year-old grandson in pre-K at Sunnyvale Elementary. Mr. Camacho is in his first year here in Sunnyvale as our middle school STEM teacher. So please join me in welcoming Mr. Chris Camacho.
Thank you all for coming today, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you guys for having me today to speak. It's quite an honor. It's great to serve here in Sunnyvale, and you know, as my fellow veterans here, it's great to serve in the military. My dad was a retired chief in the Navy, also served in the Vietnam conflict, and so the majority of my life was spent on military installations as a veteran and as a dependent. So I understand some of the sacrifice that service members and family members endure. With that said, I'm honored to speak with you today on such an important occasion. While we have our favorite holidays, mine being Thanksgiving, it's important to remember those who made it possible to have a favorite holiday. We're here today to honor our service members and remember the sacrifices they have made and the courage it takes to defend, honor, duty, country. The writer Michel de Montaigne once said, "Valor is stability, not of legs and arms, but of courage and soul." We're here today to honor our heroes, to remember their achievements, their courage, their dedication, and to say thank you for your sacrifices. Thinking of the heroes who join us today in this group, and those who are here only in spirit, a person can't help but feel awed by the enormity of what we encounter. We stand in the midst of patriots and the family and friends of those who have nobly served. I'd like to ask the service members and veterans who are here today to stand if possible. Please. Thank you. Please be seated. We just wanted to thank you for answering the call of duty. You've made our armed forces the most respected in the world. Now I'd like to take an opportunity to ask every family member who had a service member that they were related to, please stand as well. We know you've lived through difficult times and often taken a heavy load to keep those home fires burning, and we thank you for what you've done. Thank you. The service members we honor today come from all walks of life, but they share several fundamental qualities. They possess courage, pride, determination, selflessness, dedication to duty and integrity, all the qualities needed to serve a cause larger than oneself. Many of them didn't ask to leave their homes to fight on distant battlefields. Many didn't even volunteer. They didn't go to war because they loved fighting. They didn't go for any of those reasons. They were called to be part of something bigger than themselves. They're ordinary people who responded in extraordinary ways in extreme times. They rose to the nation's call because they wanted to protect the nation, which has given them, us, so much. Since the first shots at Lexington and Concord were fired and our Revolutionary War began, American men and women have been answering the nation's call to duty. Millions of Americans have fought and died on battlefields here and abroad to defend our freedoms and way of life. Today, our troops continue to make these ultimate sacrifices. And even as we lose troops, more Americans step forward to say, "I'm ready to serve." They follow the footsteps of generations of fine Americans. Veterans Day, originally called Armistice Day, was originally designated, as they mentioned earlier, as a day to celebrate the end of World War I, the first World War that ended November 11, 1918, and the legislation that created Veterans Day was, and I quote, dedicated to the cause of world peace and to be hereafter celebrated and known as Armistice Day. As time went on, we engaged in further conflicts during World War II, Korea, and veterans groups lobbied for a change. Rather than honoring the armistice and only those who served in World War I, the holiday would now honor all veterans from every war and conflict the United States had ever encountered. We've honored our troops and their service and sacrifice ever since. We have awarded medals to many soldiers, added their names to monuments, named buildings after them, freeways, to honor them for their bravery. But nothing can ever replace the hole left behind by a fallen service member, and no number of medals and ribbons can comfort the ones left behind. Service members, active, veteran, and retired can only be honored by events such as ours today, but by all of our consciously supporting legislation and programs that benefit their priorities and needs. Today, people throughout the country will gather together to remember, to honor, and to pay gratitude to those who served our country. Our gathering is just one small spark in the flame of pride that burns across our nation today and every day. It's not a lot, but it's one small way we can honor those who have made the ultimate sacrifice so we can live in freedom. Your presence here today, and that of the people gathering all across America, is a tribute to those troops and their families, for those that were lost. It is a way for us to remember. From the soldiers who shivered and starved through the winter at Valley Forge, to the doughboys that crouched in the muddy trenches of France, to the platoon who patrolled the hazy jungles of Vietnam, and the young men and women patrolling the mountains of Afghanistan, we remember and honor them all. Thank you for attending today. God bless you and your families. God bless our troops. God bless America. Thank you.
Each year, a committee of NHS students and officers work to put together a video for the veterans who are here today. As we said earlier, our driving statement this year has been, we don't know them all, but we owe them all. Faces of people we know, people we've heard stories about, and people we only imagine appear in this video. Also, you will hear the voices of thankful people in different languages, from different cultural backgrounds, and different religious traditions. In the end, the entire student body of Sunnyvale High School came together to proclaim this certain truth, voiced in gratitude. We don't know them all, but we owe them all. We hope you enjoy it.
Those who say that we're in a time when there are no heroes, they just don't know where to look. The sloping hills of Arlington National Cemetery, with its row upon row of simple white markers bearing crosses or stars of David, they add up to only a tiny fraction of the price that has been paid for our freedom.
On Veterans Day, we honor all the men and women who have served in the armed forces of the United States, including those who have fallen. Throughout the many wars and conflicts our country has engaged in, our veterans have risked their lives for our freedom and safety. From the years spent in Europe during the struggles of World War I to the attack on Pearl Harbor and World War II. From the conflict in Vietnam to the ongoing war on terror, brave patriots have protected our nation's ideals and rescued millions, answering the call to protect our nation from some of the most brutal oppression the world has ever known. Military service demands a special kind of sacrifice. Leaving behind their families and the comfort of home, the interest of a nation move to the forefront and define their lives. Those duties are ultimately shared by family members who make many sacrifices of their own, sometimes bearing the burden of losing a loved one. While we may take our family and friends for granted, The pain that many military families go through shows us that we should cherish those we love. Along with the significant contribution of these soldiers, there are several other ways citizens serve our country in the military, many of those roles not involving combat. In fact, about 85% of today's enlisted military jobs are non-combative. Such positions support the fighting forces, aid in disaster relief, construct infrastructure, provide medical care and legal help, and much more. Today, our diverse Sunnyvale community would like to honor our veterans and all those who continue to serve for the sacrifices they have made for this nation. We may not know them all, but we owe them all.
Hindi namin alam silang lahat pero may malaking utang ng loob kami sa kanila.
আমরা ওদেরকে কাউকে জানি না, but আমরা ওদের কাছে ঋণী।
हामीले इनोर को बारे में था चाहिए तर हमी इनोर के प्रति आभारी छ వాళ్ళు తెలీదు కానీ మేము రుణపడున్నాం
ما بنعرفهم كلهم بس ممنونين إلهم
私たちは皆を知っていないかもしれませんが、私たちはすべてを借りています。
എല്ലാവരെയും ഞങ്ങൾക്ക് അറിയില്ല എന്നിരുന്നാലും എല്ലാവരോടും ഞങ്ങൾ കടപ്പെട്ടിരിക്കുന്നു.
No los conocemos todos, pero sí les debemos a todos. Non li conosciamo tutti, ma dobbiamo tutti.
Mình không có biết nó mà mình làm cái này cho nó.
Wir kennen sie nicht alle, aber wir schulden ihnen alle.
we come to the end of our program. The ANHS officers would like to extend our sincere thanks to Mr. Conway and our band, and to Ms. Center and our choir for sharing their talents with us today. To Mr. Sterling and Ms. Settle for fostering a school environment in which Veterans Day is seen as valuable, and for allowing us to bring our student body together to honor our guests. And also to Ms. Fisher for her invaluable assistance in the creation of our video.
Finally, and most importantly, we say thank you once again to our veterans. Thank you for taking the time to be here today, and thank you for your service. In a world where gratitude is sometimes left behind, we want to make sure that you always feel appreciated. Please stand up and join me in giving a round of applause to our veterans for their invaluable sacrifice.